The worst night of my life started in my boyfriend's bedroom. Connor and I had been dating for 2 months, and that evening we were alone in his bedroom for the first time. I was ready, and things were getting intense. But then he went to take off my pants and just froze. Did you just come from the gym or something? I was confused. No? He tried to continue, but then actually dry heaved and pulled back. I'm sorry, I can't. That's really strong. I didn't even respond. I just grabbed my stuff and ran out of his house. I cried the whole way home, then showered twice before bed. The next day, I wore extra deodorant, changed clothes 3 times, and forced myself to go to school. When I walked into calculus early and sat in the back, Connor came in with Tyler and Madison. He saw me and immediately started whispering in Tyler's ear. I got mad and stood up, starting to walk toward him. But when I got close, I heard him say it. Good thing I didn't tap that. Dodged catching whatever she has. I froze, and Madison gasped. Wait, what? I'm just saying, something was definitely wrong down there. My stomach dropped. Tyler said, oh shit, dude, and Madison immediately pulled out her phone. Within seconds, phones were buzzing all around the room, and someone behind me whispered, gross. By third period, girls were literally moving away from me in the hallway, and one covered her nose. My heart was racing, and I was sweating, so I went to the bathroom. That's when I smelled it myself. It was bad, like really bad, undeniable. I washed my hands and face, but the smell wouldn't go away. I was starting to panic. At lunch, I sat alone because even my friends were avoiding me. I overheard the table next to mine talking. I heard she has like chlamydia or something. Isn't that the fish smell one? That's so disgusting. I could barely breathe. The smell seemed to be getting stronger, and I was sweating through my shirt, so I abandoned my lunch and hid in the library. Then came gym class. I had to change in the locker room, and girls moved to the other side. Someone said, can we open a window? And the teacher pulled me aside to ask if I needed to see the nurse. I lied and said I was fine, but I could smell it on myself constantly now. When I got home, I ran straight to the bathroom, stripped, and got in the shower with the water as hot as I could stand. I scrubbed everywhere with body wash, then soap, then shampoo, anything I could reach. Then I did it again and again. My skin was turning red and raw and stinging, but I kept going. Then I remembered, oh my god, over summer vacation at camp, I kissed this guy Tyler by the lake. What if he had something? I scrubbed harder. It has to come off. It has to come off. My skin was bleeding, but I couldn't stop. My vision started blurring and everything went black. I woke up on the bathroom floor wrapped in a towel. My mom was holding me up, but her other hand was covering her nose and mouth, and her eyes were watering. Alexa? Oh my god, can you hear me? The water was still running in the shower. What happened? Talk to me. I started sobbing. I think I have an STD. Her face went white. Get dressed right now. We're going to the ER. We drove with all the windows down and neither of us said anything. I just cried quietly. At the ER, the doctor came in for intake. I could tell he smelled it, but he kept his face professional. Okay, so we're going to run a full STD panel. He started asking questions. Have you been sexually active? I said quietly, no, I'm a virgin. He paused and looked at my mom. Her head snapped up. What? You said you might have an STD. I nodded. Yeah, because I kissed a boy over summer vacation at camp. Long silence. The doctor said, nothing like this can be caught from a kiss. But the smell, he stood up. Hang tight. I'm going to run some tests and be back soon. The doctor brought in a colleague and they both started asking questions. What I'd been eating when I first noticed symptoms, if anything made it worse. Then the colleague looked at my mom. Does anyone in your family have issues with body odor? Any digestive conditions? No, my mom said. Nothing like this. The doctors exchanged a look. We need to run blood work and genetic testing. I don't think this is an infection. Days later, my mom got the call. She has trimethylaminuria. Your body can't break down certain compounds from foods like fish, eggs, and vegetables. My mom asked, so it's not contagious? No, she's had this her entire life. It often stays dormant until puberty hits. Then stress can make it explode. I felt my throat tighten. So I'm gonna smell like this forever? There's no cure, but we can manage it with diet and supplements. So that's what I did. I stayed home for a week trying to adjust to my new diet, but eventually my mom said I had to go back to school. The damage was already done. Nobody talked to me, and by lunch I was sitting alone again. That's when I opened my lunch pail and saw it. A large can of tuna and a can opener with a note that said, you know what to do. I found Connor's gym bag in the hallway outside the locker room, opened the can, and dumped the entire thing inside. Then I zipped it back up. Next period, I heard him yelling about the smell. Tyler was laughing and said, dude, you're the new fish market. That's when I walked past them and Connor looked right at me. I smiled. Looks like you caught it anyway.